So good afternoon, everyone. Yes. I'm June, and I'm here to bring you some interesting stories from sunny Kenya. And I must say that I'm very privileged and honored to be here today. So before I begin, I'd like to start with two questions. So how many of you have had to wake up very early in the wee hours of the morning to trek for 1 kilometer to fetch water for your morning shower? You don't have to answer that. Then the second question. How many of you have failed to see a trickle or even a droplet of water coming from your taps despite religiously paying your water bills? You don't have to answer that either. So today I'm here to talk to you about my journey with water and what I discovered about non-revenue water, a menace that is compromising sustainability and compromising our ability to achieve SDG 6. So the two questions that I asked you reflect my life experiences with water, and particularly the last one. I lived in Nairobi, and for the longest time, for weeks on end, we never used to have water. We always used to pay our bills on time, but there was just never any water coming out of the taps. And to make matters worse, there were no droughts to explain this phenomena, so we kept on asking ourselves what exactly was the problem. So later on, when I started working in the water sector, is when I realized that there's something known as non-revenue water that is actually the underlying cause to these shortages. So for those of you who've never heard of non-revenue water, it sounds like some sort of menacing, fictitious character from some sort of suspense drama, and it sounds ridiculous. But let me explain it to you. So non-revenue water is the water that's produced by a water utility and lost even before it gets to the consumer. And it's lost through pipe leakages and also theft. So in Kenya, we have a non-revenue of 43%. That's losing 43% of your water. And just to put this into perspective, that's Kenya loses about $76 million annually to this phenomenon. That's a lot of money. And to make matters even worse, Kenya is part of the unlucky 8.3% of countries that are classified as severely water scarce and severely arid. So we can't go around using this kind of water. But what's interesting about this particular problem is that it just doesn't affect Kenya and the developing world. It's also a phenomenon for developed countries. So and why it's so menacing is because the pipes are under the ground. You don't see them. So you don't realize that it's happening. Out of sight, out of mind. I believe that if Kenya and the world are actually set on achieving SDG 6 by 2030, this problem has to be curbed. So there are some initiatives that have started to take place. We have performance-based contracting, which has gotten some success in Malaysia and in Bahamas. At least non-revenue rates have gone down. We also have public-private partnerships, which are being initiated. They're in their nascent stages. But for me, what I feel is something that can really make a change is grooming visionary leaders. And it's a theme that you're going to hear a lot. But for non-revenue water, it actually worked. So in Phnom Penh, in Cambodia, we have Exxon Chan, one of the most notable names in the water sector. This man and his team took non-revenue water in that particular utility from 76%, losing 76% of your water, to 6%. This is one of the lowest rates globally, only after Singapore, which has 4% non-revenue water. That's really low. It's very hard for you to achieve such percentages, but it's possible with the right leadership. So what am I saying here? Water matters, and it matters a lot, particularly in this day and age when climate change is threatening sustainability. And I feel that it is up to us as future leaders and up to you as leaders to actually tackle this problem, to look at it seriously, not to make it a problem that's out of sight, out of mind, but to find ways of reducing it. Thank you so much.